Hello everyone, I am here today with a new process video. Today I am showing you my Denver album. Now this is a combo album. The first part is actually my trip to Oklahoma City and Dallas-Fort Worth, so that's over here. Denver is in the last part. It is significantly smaller because I had less time and I did fewer things when I was there because really I was there for work. I went to the graduation ceremony, but then I did also happen to see my friend and went to the theater and did some other things. But here we go. So all of these layouts were done in Canva. So I did them electronically, digitally, and then I had them printed out. So all I really had to do here was embellish, which is awesome. I'm really liking this format and I can see myself continuing to do it in the future. Now, would I do every album that way? No, I don't see myself being able to give up completely physical scrapping in some respects, but doing this for like smaller short weekend trips I have, maybe. I really like the way that it works. It makes it go faster. So I think I'll continue to do that. But here's my opening page. I used a very thin wood veneer, and then this is all done digitally. So I just placed this on there, and then I wrote my dates, stuck on a label, and that's it. So the second page is just all about my travel because I landed at Denver and wanted to show a little bit of the airport here because I know some people think that airport is chaotic, and it is to a certain extent. It's very, very large, but I like the design of it. And so this is the covered area when you're going down to catch the train into the city. I just think they did a really good job with it. So I wanted to showcase that, and then I had a digital pass so that I could have unlimited rides that day and go wherever I needed to go. And then I just wanted to show the inside of the train. The train, it's the A line that goes from the airport into town. I mean, it's very well kept. The trains are fairly new. I really like it. It's a great way to get into the city. And I knew I was going to have dinner in between, just like checking into my hostel and then going out to the theater that night. And I needed something really close. And turns out there was a pizza place right next door. So I thought, well, all right, I can eat what I want, and then I will just put the rest in the fridge and save the rest for the next day, which is what I ended up doing. So here, all I did was I had dropped in some digital paper. I used this 3D piece here from Doodlebug, and then I put this little label here. That's it. There wasn't much else that needed to be done with that one. So the next layout is me going to the theater. I had bought a ticket to see Company that night because it was showing at the Buell Theater in Denver, and I've never seen that show on stage. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it. So I thought, okay, what can I do to get kind of a discount ticket? I was able to get a seat for $60, which was like about half the price of what some of the other tickets were running because I was a single. I was kind of doing it last minute. It worked out very well. And so you can see here, I dropped in some digital paper. I just used some foam star stickers. And the interesting thing about this too is I ended up not liking it. I don't know if it was just this production, because I've heard other people say they love the music from Company. They really like it. It didn't hit for me. It's not one I would ever choose to go see again. So I'm glad I didn't spend more than $60 to see it. But you know what? You're not going to love everything you see. So that's okay. And I still wanted to document it. So I just used a 3x4 card on this side. So this is one of the few instances of actual physical scrapping. I do have a couple places where that's the case because I had memorabilia that I wanted to include. And so this one I needed something on the back, and a 3x4 card fit the bill. And then this is the other layout where I really talk in my journaling about why it just didn't really work for me. So that's there. I wanted to make sure I included that, but then I just did some easy banners, some rhinestones, stuck this on. I really tried to keep these simple because the point of doing it in Canva too is to get more photos in a smaller space and do it quicker, faster, because otherwise I tend to take a long time to scrap. And I like having stuff where it's done within a couple of months of when I go. I was home from this June 2nd and it's already done. So this is where I chose to stay. When I go out for graduation, the university pays. I get a stipend, and so as long as I stay within that budget, it doesn't come out of my pocket, which is awesome. And I have stayed here before, but before they remodeled. So I wanted to see what it looked like now. And it's beautiful. I mean, it wasn't horrible before or anything, but it's just gorgeous now. Everything they've revamped. They now have a little coffee shop in there, and I'm a coffee drinker, so that works for me. So I wanted to make sure I could get my own shots in there. So this is my actual room here. And then they had an updated kind of brochure. It's just a cardstock piece, card that they hand out at the front desk. So I took one of those and I was able to match the colors pretty well to have these just sort of go together. And then all I did was just slap this on there and stamped. I just was lucky that I had something that this yellow matched the couch there. I had a stamp that fit in that small place on the tag, and I was good to go. And then the whole reason I was there was to attend graduation. So I definitely wanted to include stuff from the ceremony. It's always a very meaningful experience. And so I cut this out of our program, and all I did was add that little piece of chipboard. That's all I had to do, really. And then over here, this is the next layout, but I chose to do another insert here because these photos didn't fit in any of the other configurations I had. So I thought, okay, I'll do it again where I just do a 3x4. And this one, I ended up not having a pocket card. It's 2 photos back to back. It just worked out that way. So all I did on this one was put on the photo op sticker, and then this one, I actually did nothing. I left it as is because I knew I had these over here. And I thought, you know what, that's enough. I don't need to overwhelm it. So on this side, I had dropped in 2 digital papers, one with a little bit of a subtle pattern, which I like. And then I just happened to find 2 circular elements that were very sort of clean graphic style, and it works with what I had going. So this was super easy to put together. For this one, this is my last one from graduation. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it at the start, and I just lucked out that I had 3 Flair badges that would work with the spaces I had. These 2 for sure. I didn't know what I was going to do up here. At first I thought washi, but then I ended up really liking the way the third element looked. And I love that they're all circular when everything else is so square, rectangular, very linear. So I'm pleased with how that came out. And then that night, graduation took up kind of the whole first chunk of my day, and it ran over. It ran long, shocking. So even longer than anticipated. But the only other thing I really did that night was I went out to dinner with my best friend back home in Colorado, who I've known since 6th grade. We went to the same church together, and then she actually ended up moving into my neighborhood and going to my middle school. And so we've been friends ever since. So this is her favorite Italian place. So she and her daughter, who is my goddaughter, we all went out to this restaurant, and it was fantastic. Food was great, drinks were great, everything was really good. And this was another one that was easy because I just had this space to fill, and then I put a label on it, and that's it. That's part of the beauty of doing these in Canva, where I hardly have to embellish once I have them printed. So on Sunday morning, I met up with those 2 again. We decided to go to the Denver Botanical Gardens because they had this statue exhibit happening, and the colors just looked amazing. So I said, okay, I want to go see that. So we took our time walking around. We saw lots of flowers, botanical things as well, but the statues, really the art part is why I was there. And we all enjoyed them, loved them, but it was getting pretty hot. So we were glad we did it like right when it opened early in the day so that we weren't melting out there. But I love this configuration. I was able to fit in some of the best pictures. All I had to do was use some chipboard stars. This part was super easy, and that's all I had to do with that one. This one, I knew I just wanted a 4x8 card. And this one had colors that matched really well. All I did was throw this on, write Denver Botanical Garden. That's it. So another really simple layout. And then this one, I chose to just do 1 photo on the closing page. So that's my goddaughter, me, my best friend back home, and then that's her son. So we were all there together, and I just wanted to keep it simple, but I loved this curved aspect. And luckily I was able to find things that matched with everything that was happening between what we were wearing and what was in the background. So it came out really well. And that's it. So this was, a pretty short portion of this album, really. It's just these layouts right here, but that was enough. I really was only there from like Friday late afternoon till Sunday, early afternoon. So I think that worked out well. And I love that I was able to fit it in with another section that really helps me make use of the space I have in these albums. So thanks for watching.